Vishnupadaya Krishna prastaya bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namah.
Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine.
Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine.
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashasha Deshatarine.
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Aita Gadadha Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivashadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda.
Who likes to sing today? Just lead. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare. Repeat everyone.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama
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 Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Repeat everyone.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama.
Hare Hare
Everyone.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Haribo. Thank
Hare.
you, everyone. Gita Mahatma. Devaki Nandana Krishna Gita Patena Tushyati Yata Navedya Danena Yajna Tirtha Vritadibihi. The son of Devaki, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna cannot be satisfied by anyone's study of the Vedas, charity, sacrifice, pilgrimage, or vows as much as he is satisfied by the devotional recitation of the Gita. Okay, so welcome everyone. Darshan of Sri Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra of Jagannath Mandir, Kuala Lumpur. Praise to the spiritual teachers. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikna Vinasha Narsimha Iti Namine. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Okay, so this is something that we did not do yesterday. So I'm going to narrate some stories about Srila Prabhupada. So those who have not known Prabhupada before, so this is the chance to get to know Srila Prabhupada. Okay. So Srila Prabhupada, okay, this course in the first place, to introduce this course, this Bhagavad Gita, the book that we are using, Bhagavad Gita as it is given by Srila Prabhupada, translated by Srila Prabhupada with the reference of commentaries given by previous acharyas. Okay, it's not fully Prabhupada's commentary alone, but Prabhupada referred to few acharyas and then he incorporated all the comments here to make sure that, but yet making sure that the information, the translation, the explanation given on the words of Krishna is not deviated, misinterpreted, speculated, or altered in any ways. Okay, all right. So references has to be made wherever it's necessary. So we are thankful to Prabhupada for giving this Bhagavad Gita as it is. Not only that Prabhupada did not misinterpret or wrongly translate that or give his own opinion, but Prabhupada has given explanation for even beginners. When they take up this Bhagavad Gita as it is and read, they can understand. Okay. Generally they can understand, very simple explanation, very simple examples. Okay, so certain things that you may find heavy, that you need guidance, then it's possible to reach out for a guidance, but otherwise Prabhupada explanation is pretty extensive for the translations. Okay, so Prabhupada was born on the next day of Krishna Janmashtami. Okay, so his birthday Tithi is always after Krishna Janmashtami. He was born in Calcutta in 1896. He's born to a devotee family. At the age of 5, Prabhupada, because the father has been very pious, so he has exposed Prabhupada to playing mridanga, deity worships, and devotional services right from the beginning. Okay, so Prabhupada and the father arranged Prabhupada to do Ratha Yatra around his house. So he had a small chariot and he called around the people around, and they had the Ratha Yatra festival, the one that we used to see in Jagannath Puri. Okay, it's originated in Jagannath Puri. Okay, and 70 years later, Prabhupada brought the Ratha Yatra from India to Western world. Until now, it's a very famous event worldwide. In Malaysia, is one of the country with the highest number of Ratha Yatra per year. This is before the pandemic time. Okay, we have easily 50 Ratha Yatra per year. Okay, and these Ratha Yatras are generally, it's pulled by the devotees with the rope, so not machine, okay, or cows, right? So devotees pull with all their heart. Okay, so at the age of 22, Prabhupada got married, okay, and he had 3 sons and 1 daughter. Prabhupada went to a college, but he stopped his degree because he was so involved in political movement in support of Mahatma Gandhi's civil disobedience movement. So he's very active in that. Okay, and he was very active in taking part in the freedom movement. What do you call that? India's struggle for freedom. Okay, so that's why during his youth, he was very active. He was attracted to Gandhi and his principles. So while this been going on, Prabhupada was very active in this political involvement. He had a chance to see his guru, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. Okay, so it was like you can count how many times Prabhupada met his guru, maybe one or two times or few times only. Okay, and then he only spoke once. So during that first meeting itself, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj said, "You are speaking very good English. You should go to the Western world and preach." He said like that. And Prabhupada said, okay, I will go. Let all this political turmoil all settle down, right? Let India get freedom. Then I will take up this spiritual activity. Then his Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj say, if you were to wait for these political issues to settle, then it will never happen, because after one issue finished, then another issue comes, and then another issue comes. So you cannot wait like this forever. You have to act now. Okay. So Prabhupada accepted initiation at the age of 26. Okay, he was 26 when he accepted Guru. So this is what we call initiation ceremony. There will be yagya, the Guru will be seated, the student will be seated, and the Guru will ask a question to the disciples. Do you take vow? Do you promise that you will do this and this, and you will not this and you will not do this and this? So like that, there's a list of vows. So the disciple will take the vow in front of the yagya, and then the Guru will give the chanting beads where he chanted on that beads, and then he'll give that beads to the disciple, and the disciple has to use that chanting beads for his chanting for the rest of his life. Okay, and then they will do the yagya. So this is called initiation ceremony, which means the Guru coming from the parampara, right from Krishna, Brahma, Narada Muni, Madhvacharya, which is Gaudiya Madhva Sampradaya. So the Guru is actually initiating the disciple into the parampara. So just by accepting a guru, this is not the end of your journey. Oh, okay, I'm done, perfect. Now I can sit down feeling settled. No, it is called initiation, which means you are taking a new birth and you are getting initiated into the path of spiritual life. Okay, so that is why it's called initiation, beginning. Okay, so that's about initiation. What happens in 1944? A little like 12 years later, Prabhupada started a very important printing activity, which is the printing of a magazine. It's very famous. The title is Back to Godhead. Okay, in the early years, many people became devotee by seeing Back to Godhead magazine. Okay, there are great devotees. They actually they picked up Bhagavad Gita from dustbin in public washroom. They have taken like that. Some people bought it, some people buys and give somebody else. So a lot of people have changed by reading this Back to Godhead magazine. So after that, Prabhupada left the household life. He became vanaprastha, means he left the household life when the children is grown up, can take care of the mother, and he went traveling. Okay, he visited holy places, he traveled, and finally he settled down in Vrindavan, and he was fully involved in devotional services. That he was reading, he was writing books. He actually wrote the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the translation and the explanation. Okay, in 1959, Prabhupada received sannyasa. Okay, that means he's fully devoted to Krishna already. So that is called sannyasa, the highest order. All right, when he was 69, all right, in 1965, Prabhupada was 69 years old. He had this very deeply embedded instruction of his guru saying that you should go to the Western and preach. Because nowadays, whatever the Western country is doing, the rest of the world is following. So you should go there, preach there, make devotees there. After that, everybody will start following them. So they want to leverage on that. Okay. So Prabhupada went. Actually, before Prabhupada went on to US, he went through a lot of problems because he was very old. And the lady who was supposed to issue the ticket to Prabhupada refused. Like 2-3 times she kept refusing. Oh, there is no place, or there is no ticket, or it's weather is not good, things like that, because she doesn't want to put Prabhupada in risk because he's old, and the ocean can be very unsettled. All right, but Prabhupada kept coming back. kept coming back, kept coming back. And finally, her name is Sumati Morarji. Finally, she realized that, okay, it's not going to work. This man is going to keep coming back. So finally, she managed to secure a place on a cargo ship. Okay, not even a passenger ship or not a luxury cruise. So she managed to secure a place, and Prabhupada just boarded the ship named Jaladuta with just 40 rupees and a trunk box, okay, a little clothes, and then he brought his back to Godhead magazines and the Bhagavatam that he translated, and I think Bhagavad Gita also. Okay, I'm not so sure, but I remember Bhagavatam, yes, he brought. Okay, just with little few of his possessions and 40 rupees, Prabhupada went on. So as expected, the ocean was pretty rough, and Prabhupada actually suffered 2 heart attacks. So somebody told him one more heart attack that he will not survive. So that was the fact. Okay, one more heart attack, Prabhupada would not have survived. So Prabhupada wrote a beautiful poem for Krishna, and one of the line is like this: I don't know why are you sending me to this Western world, but if you think you want to make me dance, then make me dance, like that. So it's like surrendered. You arranged this, so please take me there. There must be a reason why you're sending me there. So Prabhupada had a dream that beside this big ship, a small boat came. Krishna was rowing the boat, and he was telling Prabhupada, come on, don't be worried. I'm taking care of you. So like that, I will take you. So after that, miraculously, the ocean settled and it was calm. And the captain said the ocean has never been that calm before. Okay, so Prabhupada arrived. So the predicament that Prabhupada was in when he arrived at US, when he touched down, he didn't know to turn left or right. It was that kind of situation. Prabhupada didn't know how to go about left or right. So that means you're totally clueless. But just because the guru told him to go, he went. So that much of faith he had in his guru's words. Okay, so fast forward 12 years, Prabhupada traveled the world 14 times. He initiated 10,000 disciples in that 12 years, and he established 108 temples as predicted when he was born. Astrologer came and he said that he's going to be famous and he's going to build temples around the world. 108 temples and farm communities. So all this in just 12 years. So in that period also, he published 147 books, including Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. So by that time, he was already 69 when he printed all these books. Okay, so 1 year after Prabhupada arrived in US 1965, right? So within a year, ISKCON was registered. Okay, so it was formally registered as International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So this movement actually is begun by Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 500 plus years ago, but it was like formally established as an organization. Okay, so that's about Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Okay, so Gita Mahatmya as usual. Who would like to read? I don't have any name here.
I'll read, Mataji.
Okay, Yamuna Mataji.
Great sacrifices such as Aswamedha, along with their remunerations, are naturally achieved by one who daily hears and recites the Gita.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So Ashwamedha Yajna is done by great kings in the past. So it's a huge sacrifice, and they donate a lot of things in charity, like cows and food. Actually, I think the Ashwamedha Yajna is sacrifice of horses, I think. Okay, of course, they bring back the horses into life, but this is great Ashwamedha Yajna. So which means like a person who wants to attain the Indraloka or certain great position, they have to perform 100 Ashwamedha Yajna, something like that. Okay, so we can't do that. All right, we can't. It's not even easy to do a usual yajna. Okay, it's expensive, facilities and everything, the purity of the products, okay, all that are questionable. So we can't do Ashwamedha Yajna. However, if we do this hearing and recitation of Bhagavad Gita, then we get that same benefit. Okay, right. So next is a little recap of what we have done in the last 3 chapters. So in chapter 13, we learned about all the sensor 24 elements, or remember that feel, knower, okay, object of knowledge, goal of knowledge, all that. So that's in chapter 30. We study soul and super soul, knower and knower number one, knower number two, all right, enjoyer number one, enjoyer number two. So all this information we studied in chapter 13. All right, in chapter 14, the pradhana, the three modes, okay, the three modes. And then yesterday we learned the banyan tree of the material world versus the spiritual world. Okay, so this is the allegory of a banyan tree to describe the entire material world. So the upside down here, what we say is the real tree of the spiritual world. The root is up, the leaves and branches all downward. Okay, in material world, the root is down because it's going too deep inside, bound to all our fruitive activities. Okay, so what else? What else we learned about the tree yesterday? How to destroy this deeply rooted material tree
Detachment,
with the weapon of detachment sharpened by
knowledge.
knowledge and determination. Okay, so we are going to continue from here. Remember, there were twigs and branches and leaves and roots and all that. Okay, so today we are going to see the fruits. Okay, so that fruits Krishna hasn't described yet. Now, these fruits divided into two. There is good fruit and there is bad fruit. All right. So what do you think the good fruit is here? You can see there's, yesterday somebody asked, at the top one, they placed in mode of goodness. Okay, what else do you remember seeing here? The differences between these two big categories of people here, living entities here. Who's at the top? Who's in the middle? And that kind of understanding. Who's at the top? What kind of
Devatas.
Brahman.
Yeah, the devatas. All right. And then as you go down, what do you have? Human being, and then
Lower
Okay,
lives,
the-
reptiles and stuff.
yes, lower beings. Okay. So here Krishna is, yeah, devas, very good. Okay, so here Krishna is dividing them into two. One is divine, another one is
Demonic.
demonic, and these are the fruits, the result of activities. So with that, we are entering the chapter 16. Okay, so this is the synopsis. Those who possess demoniac qualities and who live whimsically without following the regulations of scriptures attain lower births and further material bondage. Remember, the root is going wide and deeper into the ground. But those who possess divine qualities and live regulated lives, abiding by scriptural authority, gradually attain spiritual perfection. So, chapter 16 will explain all the divine qualities that elevate us on the tree and leads us to liberation. So, we are moving towards upward. We are moving upward. Okay, but and chapter 16 also describes about demonic qualities and the mentality which drives one lower on the tree and ultimately to hell. Okay, that is the extreme situation. So you want to go up or you want to go down. So it's our choice. Okay, so this is our, hold on now. Okay. Okay, so this is our overview. Everybody can see, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, okay. Because I thought something happened just now. Okay, so this is our overview. Okay, so first in the Bhagavad Gita, actually, the first section will be on divine qualities. No problem, Mataji, welcome. Okay, the second one describes the demonic qualities. And the third section describes further on demonic qualities. And the next section also talks about demonic qualities. So you can see here in this chapter 16, Krishna has given more importance on describing the demonic qualities. And therefore, the first section that we're going to cover now is not the number 1 here, Daivi Sampada. We are going to go into Asura Sampada, the demonic qualities. So we will go into this one first. Okay, so Krishna is explaining many qualities, characteristics, nature of demoniac people. Okay, so we will not cover all the slokas, but I'm trying to give as much as I can because we are not going to level 2. So I thought we just might as well cover, as much what we can. And I will probably run through the verses without much elaboration because it's pretty straightforward, but we will spend a little time on the recap so that you have, absorbed all these points. And there is story at the end. So I need to allocate some time on the story. Okay, so this one is just, it's very direct. Okay, so if you have any question, you can, stop me anytime and you can ask questions if you don't understand. Okay, so otherwise it should be straightforward. All right, so we'll start with 16.4. I don't have name yet. Anybody would like to read?
I'm supposed to read, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhu. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Arrogance, pride, anger, conceit, harshness, and ignorance. These qualities belong to those of demonic nature, O son of Prata.
Anapata. Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Okay, a general question. Why Krishna calls him, oh son of Partha? Who's Partha? Who's singing?
Arjuna.
Yeah, Arjuna is the son of Partha, but who is Partha?
To Arjuna, right?
Yeah, Krishna is referring to Arjuna. Krishna calls Arjuna with so many names. Who's Partha?
Is it Indriya Mataji?
Arjuna.
Yes, the son of Partha is Arjuna, but who is Partha? It should be either father or mother, right?
Kunti Devi.
Yeah, Partha means the mother. Huh? Okay, so sometimes Krishna calls it, oh son of Kunti, or Kaunteya, or Partha. Okay, so this is Krishna's referring to Arjuna as the son of Mother Kunti or Queen Kunti. Okay, so what are the qualities that Krishna is explaining here? Very straightforward.
Arrogance, pride, anger, conceit, harshness, and ignorance.
Yes, all these are demonic qualities. Okay, so when Krishna talks about these qualities, Krishna understands, it is explained that Krishna understands that Arjuna might be having a question in his mind or doubt about him that, okay, I am going to participate in the battle as a warrior, and therefore naturally I will be a killer. All right, so will I be possessing these demonic temperaments? Like you have to have anger if you want to fight, right? If you have to have pride, you have to have all this harshness because you're going to kill the bad guys. All right, so Arjuna naturally will have this doubt. So this one Krishna will try to pacify him. So Krishna clarifies this now this way. 16.5, Yamuna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. The transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demonic qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are born with the divine qualities.
Thank you, Mataji. So here there are 2 points here. Krishna is giving the destination of people who are demoniac and people who are divine. All right, where do the divine people go, or what is their destination? Liberation. Okay, which means they'll be freed from the cycle of birth and death. And those who are demoniac, what is their fate?
Bondage, rebirth.
Okay. Right, bondage, rebirth. Yes, actually, I wanted you all to elaborate. What do you mean by bondage? Yeah, rebirth. Okay, very good. Nice. Thank you. So next, how Krishna is specifying Arjuna now compared to this?
That he's born with divine qualities.
Yeah, so seeing that Arjuna's lamentation didn't go away, still Arjuna is thinking, I'm doing bad thing, I'm going to kill people, right? So Krishna begins to describe the qualities of demoniac people. So first Krishna blanketly approves, say that, don't worry Arjuna, you are divine. So now I'm going to explain about demoniac people. So that makes difference between demoniac people and you. Okay, so that's 16.6. I don't have name yet. I don't know if I've taken the latest list. Anybody would like to read? Sam Prabhu.
Baru Hare Krishna. O son of Partha, in this world there are two kinds of created beings. One is called divine and the other demonic. I have already explained to you at length the divine qualities. Now hear from me the demonic.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So why Krishna said that I have already explained to you? That one we will see later. Okay, Krishna will give so many 26 qualities of divine people. All right, so but we are not doing that now, so we will explain that later. So at this time, Krishna already explained the 26 qualities. So two kinds of created beings, divine and demoniac. What are the two kinds of beings that we covered yesterday? Who remembers? Two kinds of living entities.
Fallible and infallible.
Yes, fallible and infallible. Okay. So the only criteria that differentiate between this demoniac and divine people is only one: their obedience to the regulative principles of scriptures. That's the only thing that differentiate them. So you should be either divine or you should be demoniac. There should not be something in between, right? Krishna never say there is something in between. Okay, so there are only two kinds, divine, demoniac. And many people might say there could be more. Okay, I may not be a divine person, I may not be a devotee, I may not be so spiritual, but at the same time, I'm not a demon either. And they argue that there should be more varieties to this, but Krishna never says that. Krishna is either A or B. There is no A and half, A and quarter, A 3/4, no such thing. Okay. All right. So we move on. Two kinds of created being. Okay. Now Krishna is going to explain on the demoniac. Point 7. Jai Srila Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Those who are demonic do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Neither cleanliness nor proper behavior nor truth is found in them.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So this is very clear description Krishna is giving about the demoniac, the nature of a demoniac person. Okay, first, they do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. What does this show? I think we covered this yesterday or the day before. What is that tendency that they don't have? I think it's in chapter 40.
Consciousness.
Oh, not consciousness. How can you relate this to our previous lessons? Look at this line. Don't know what to be done and
Ignorance.
what not to be done. Okay, so what is that? Yes, we covered this aspect under the mode of ignorance in chapter 14. Can somebody elaborate what I'm asking for?
Is it they don't have the knowledge?
Are you referring to the three gunas, is it?
Okay, so we are close already. We are in the mode of ignorance. What kind of traits people in the mode of ignorance have? Referring to this, don't know what is to be done.
Confusion.
Absence of knowledge.
Absence of
Knowledge.
Okay, so how with
They
knowledge
have-
what are they able to do?
They are unable to discriminate what is right and what is wrong.
Yes, the absence of the discrimination. They are not able to say, okay, this is good, this is not good. Okay, I should do this, I should not do that. So this is opposite to people in the mode of
Goodness.
goodness, because they know what to do and what not to do. Therefore, they will avoid. What do they avoid when you are able to discriminate? When you know what to do, what not to do, what do you avoid? People in the mode of goodness, they have this quality. What is that? All forgot, the chart that you put on that day, the color ones. If people in the mode of ignorance are not able to discriminate between bad and good, so they engage in everything whimsically, This is totally opposite with people in the mode of goodness, whereby they can discriminate because they have the knowledge. Therefore, what do they avoid? What is avoided?
Sinful reactions.
Yes, sinful reaction is avoided. Okay, so this is how we tie the information here and the flow. So please don't forget. Okay. All right. And now what else? No cleanliness, no proper behavior, no truth. Okay, they are not honest. Okay, this is also very straightforward. Okay, so we move on. This is point 7, right? This is point 8. Jai Sri Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. The mnemonic says that this world is unreal, that there is no foundation, and that there is no God in control. It is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than lust.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So demonic people, other than whatever has been explained here, and before this, the arrogant, deceit, harshness, all these are qualities and nature of the demonic people. And Krishna continues, what else they do? What else their ideology is? They say that the world is unreal, everything happens by itself, there is no cause and effect, there is no controller, there is no God, there is no purpose. What else? This entire creation happened just by itself due to the material or chemical reactions. Okay, and they do not believe that the world has been created by God for a certain purpose, so they don't have all these beliefs. They have their own theory, and according to that, the world is functioning, so that is why they think. All right, and they find there is no reason for me to believe that is God behind all of this. Okay, so this is what they think. This is also talking about their nature. So these are all we are still looking at the nature of the demonic people. Okay, yet we are not covering everything, just the prominent ones. Okay, 16.9. Someone?
Mataji,
Yes.
can I just ask, do the scientists and the philosophers fall into this category?
Yes. Knowledge stolen by illusion. Maya Partanyana. These are one of the four kind of people will not surrender to Krishna. This is what Krishna mentioned in earlier chapter 7, I think. So you remember that verse?
No, you said it nicely, but okay.
Macam mana ni?
I'm not.
Okay.
I don't think I can say that. But the thing is, like, so what they? Oh, that is the false ego of them thinking that they are intelligent. They are intelligent.
Yes, correct. They are
Right.
intelligent.
Okay.
There's no doubt about it. But their knowledge is stolen by illusion, thinking that their knowledge is the best. So they are in denial that things happen because a creator is behind all of this. Okay. Yeah, it's a good question, Mataji. So thank you. Point 9. Somebody would like to read?
I can read, Mataji.
Okay, Katini, Mataji.
Following such conclusions, the demonic who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world.
Yes. Okay. This is what they do. They engage in unbeneficial, horrible works, and they bring destruction to the world. Okay, these are also qualities and nature of demoniac people. So far we have covered the characteristics of demoniac people. Now we are going to see what kind of activities they engage in. Okay, so the next section is activities of the demoniac. So we will see their tendency, their conduct, attitude, engagement, thoughts, and where do they go eventually. Okay, so there are total 10 slokas, but we will cover only 2 slides. Okay, 13 to 15. Sam Prabhu.
The demoniac person thinks, so much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now, and it will increase in the future, more and more. He is my enemy, and I have killed him, and my other enemies will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. I am the richest man, surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices, I shall give some charity, and thus I shall rejoice. In this way, such persons are deluded by ignorance.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. So all this Krishna is indicating the demonic thoughts on gaining wealth. What these demonic people think about the wealth that they possess. So all this Krishna already explained. Okay, I have so much of wealth, and I'm going to increase it in the future. I have an enemy, I already killed him, and if there are more enemies coming up, I'm going to kill that too. I'm going to be the lord of everything. I'm the enjoyer, I'm perfect. Okay, and then he's taking pride that he is so powerful, he's happy. And what do? They do sacrifices and charity, and they will say that I'm doing good things, like that, to get name, fame and glory. Or sometimes they think that, okay, I'm doing bad things, so let me cover up by doing some sacrifices and some charity. So this is ignorance. Okay, so we have, in the past, we have demons like this, Duryodhana and Ravana. Okay, we do not, in Kali Yuga, we do not have these kind of demons like carrying the Gada around with the 10 heads. We don't really have them, but we do have demons in different forms. Okay, launching war here and there. Okay, and try to, what they call that, harass people and grab their lands and their properties. So these are all called aggressors. Okay, so that in Vedas, there are 6 kind of aggressors. One is stealing somebody's wife, or setting fire on people's house, stealing the land of another person. So like that, there are 6 kind of aggressors. So these kind of aggressors, they are fit to be killed or punished. Okay. All right. So another point that we can see from here is that you can see the people who are demonic, who have demonic nature, they have very strong material desires to get power and wealth. They will do anything. They will kill anybody. Okay, bomb, cement, whatever they will do. Okay, so they don't care, but they don't have conscience about all that. Okay, so if there is demon, if there's enemy, they will kill them. If more enemies come, they will kill them too. Okay, so that nobody can disturb his activities. So this is demoniac nature. Okay, what else? Then he thinks that he's the controller. Everything is happening under my direction. Everything belongs to me. Okay, and it's only meant for my enjoyment. So, and then he will think he has no bad qualities. I'm powerful, I'm perfect, I'm good because I'm doing some sacrifices, some charities, so that's okay. All right. So the fact that, okay, this ignorance, the fact is that we are not Duryodhana, we may not be Ravan, we don't have 10 heads, we don't have this kind of body physics, and we don't do this kind of things. However, there is demon and divine natures in everybody's body and mind. Okay, there are, like my Guru Maharaj explains, that there are 2 wolves. There is good wolf and there is bad wolf. So it's up to us which wolf that we are feeding. Okay, within everyone there are some good qualities and some bad qualities. In our body there are 2 wolves, good wolf and a bad wolf. We have to be careful which one do we feed. Feed the wolf with good and divine qualities, or feed the bad one with the demonic qualities. This is a choice that we have to make. Okay, who's having Bhagavad Gita in their hand? I want somebody to read the 16, 17 and 18, please. Kartini Mataji or Sam Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji. 16, 17, and 18, is it?
Yes, yes.
Thus perplexed by various anxieties and bound by a network of illusion, they become too strongly attached to sense of enjoyment and fall down into hell. That's text 16. Text 17. Self-complacent and always impudent, deluded by wealth and false prestige, they sometimes proudly perform sacrifices in the name only without following any rules or regulations. Text 18. Bewildered by false ego, strength, pride, lust, and anger, the demons become envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in their own bodies and in the bodies of others, and blaspheme against the real religion.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So these are further activity that they do. What kind of things they do? They blaspheme. Okay, all right. So we move on to text 19 to 20. This talks about how Krishna treats the demoniac natured people. Pushpa Mataji.
19. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, are perpetually cast into the ocean of material existence, into various demonic species of life. That's number 19. Now 20 is attaining repeated births amongst the species of demonic life. O son of Kunti, such a person can never approach me. Gradually, they sink down the most abnormal type of existence.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So here we have 2 points Krishna is talking about. Generally, Krishna is talking about how he is placing a particular individual soul in a particular body. Okay, and this placement is purely prerogative of the supreme will. Okay, it's Krishna decides how they do, because of course it's influenced by their activities, and Krishna will place them accordingly. So those are with people with the asuric mentality, they will not get liberation, because Krishna is going to put them perpetually, continuously in the ocean of material existence, and he's going to put them in various demoniac species of life. So demoniac can be in human body, or it can be a non-human body. Okay, we will never know. And what kind of situation will that be? For example, if you are born, imagine if you are born in this kind of body. Okay, of course, with Darshana, Pandita Sama Darshana, we want to see everybody is spirit soul. However, would we want to be casted into a place like deep inside the forest, where there is no civilization, there is no access to spiritual activity? Forever you're going to be a hunter, so this is the dangerous species of life. It's very difficult. You don't have sannyasis, devotees going out there giving prasadam and giving holy name. So there is no reach for this kind of there is no hope for this kind of people, or the hope is very, very slim. Okay, so that is one. The second one, Krishna says that they will take repeated birth among the species of demoniac life. So until and unless somebody comes and performs a miracle or give them prasadam or Krishna consciousness, they're going to take birth there again and again and again. So it's going to be like continuous, like infinity. And this kind of people will never get a chance to approach Krishna. That is what they are saying. So when they are put in this kind of autopilot mode, they will glide down into the most abominable type of existence, which is animalistic or hellish life. Okay, so again, these are the result of people who are purely engaged in 2 of the 3 modes. What are those modes? They are prominently here. Out of the 3 modes, which 2 modes?
Passion and ignorance.
Yes, very good. Right, so these are the people who are full of the mode of passion and ignorance. Okay, even though they have human body, but if they continue with their bad mentality, they will end up getting an animal body in a jungle. And they will get this body again and again because they don't want to be civilized. And there is no chance for them or no channel for them to be civilized or to follow the scripture. So it's too far from their reach. Okay, so they will take animal bodies according to their desires, and they go on staying in animal bodies for a long time. So this is their fate. Okay, they will be put in the material existence continuously, and they will take birth among the species of demoniac life and animalistic life. Okay, these are the points. Yeah. So now we have seen how Krishna treats them. Okay, and then continuously we will see some more on demoniac tendency. There are 3 gates to hell. and then how to give up these 3 gates to hell. So what do you think the most important 3 things that can bring us to hell? Let's brainstorm a bit here. What do you think?
Gambling.
Okay, so this is activity. Okay, let's talk about quality or the nature or characteristics. What could it be? I give 1. Okay,
Anger?
Yes. Oh my God, I don't have to give clue already. Okay, anger. 2 more.
Selfish.
Almost there, Prabhu.
Hatred.
Okay, what else?
Greed.
Somebody say something?
Greed.
Greed. Oh, sudah close. 1 more.
Arrogance.
No. One more.
Is it sense gratification?
Okay, Mataji, you're very close. It's just got 4 letters only.
Lust.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes, that's right. 3 gates to hell. Okay. So point 21, Kushi Mataji.
There are 3 gates leading to this hell: lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give these up, for they lead to the degradation of the soul.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So congratulations for all those guessed it correctly. Lust, anger, and greed. Actually, this topic we will see more in level 3. Okay. We will see where this lust is sitting. Okay. So for now, what I can explain to you is that everything starts from lust. Okay. When the desire becomes intense, too intense, you will either you will try to satisfy it. Either you will end up satisfying it, or you will end up not able to satisfy it. So what is the consequences if you end up satisfying it and you end up not satisfying it? What will be the consequence? Who can tell me? The lust is the big brother, the anger and greed are the 2 younger brothers. So can you relate now? I'm sure you can.
Is it the degradation of the soul?
Yes. So okay. So I'm asking. So you have intense desire. So lust means over hankering for something you want to get or eat or whatever. All right. So what happens if you satisfy it, and what happens if you don't satisfy it?
Okay. If you don't satisfy, there's always a longing, right?
If you don't satisfy it, you'll
And
get
if you
angry.
and if you satisfy is that want is more, always wanting more.
Correct. If you don't,
you get angry.
yes. Can you see how it's related? If the lust is satisfied, you want more. So greed. When lust is not satisfied, you get anger. So either way, it's going to hell. All right. And people will think, okay, just one more time, just one more time, just one more time. This is like pouring fuel in a burning flame. So you will never put it out. You will only fuel it to burn more and more and more and consume more. So that's how it works. Okay. So that's why Krishna say you should every sane man should give this up. Otherwise, it's gonna degrade the soul. So it'll never stop. Okay, so one cannot escape the 3 gates to hell without practicing our dharma, means our duties. So if you do not perform your duties, then it's very difficult to escape from these 3 gates. And how do you perform these duties? You fall back to the scriptures. Okay, so Krishna is explaining that. All right, 3 gates to hell, and man should give this up. Okay. Right, so we have to understand that last meet is not just about interaction between a female and male. So anything that we want more, okay, desire to enjoy material objects, okay, and this is the beginning of the degradation of the soul. All right, so I think you all got the concept already, so I don't have to explain so much. Point 23, Sam Prabhu.
He who discards scriptural injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness nor the supreme destination.
Right. Okay. So the key word here, thank you, Prabhu, Sastra Vidhim. So here Krishna is explaining the importance of following sastric injunctions. Like I mentioned, this entire Vedic tree, the scripture, is a manual, a handbook. So if you want to know what is in Vedas, Veda has everything, right from religious practices to Ayurveda, to political things, economical things, a lot of things. Okay, I have one slide which I did this class for youth some time back. I listed out what actually is inside the Vedas. Later, I try to find that and I'll share in the group. So if you look at it, you will know, oh, Vedas has these many things for a human to have a decent life. So Veda is not only about prayers, okay? All right, so if one disregards the scriptural injunction and act according to his own whims, means suka-suka, huh? So there is no perfection, no happiness, and no supreme destination. No, na param gatim. Param means supreme. Gatim, gati means destination. So you won't get all that. So this is the result of not following the sastras. An example, the activities are given here: gambling, illicit sex, let's see, what is that? Meat eating and intoxication. So generally these four things. These are the four things that destroy the four pillars of life, which is mercy, truthfulness, cleanliness, and austerity. So the entire world has to stand on these four pillars. So when one of these activities is happening, okay, one pillar will be destroyed. For example, this is a little bit diverted from this course. Intoxication destroys the pillar of austerity. Meat eating destroys the pillar of mercy. So when we are eating meat, we are causing harm to other living entities. We are destroying the pillar of mercy. Okay, so we cannot say that we are kind when we are causing harm to other living entities. Illicit sex is destroying the pillar of cleanliness. Okay, gambling destroys the pillar of, anybody catch all the four pillars that I mentioned, and what gambling destroys? What happens when you gamble? When you gamble, sorry?
Truthfulness?
Yes, very good. When we gamble, we tend to lie, cheat, hide. Okay, so it destroys the pillar of truth. Okay, very nice. Okay, and this kind of people will not achieve perfection, happiness, or supreme destination. Now, okay, earlier, result of not following the sastras, they will not achieve all this. Now, result of following the sastras. 24? Nobody yet? Anybody?
I will read, Mataji.
Yes, Brinda Mataji.
One should therefore understand what is duty and what is not duty by the regulations of the scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that he may gradually be elevated.
Okay, so it's totally the opposite. Thank you, Mataji. So knowing such rules and regulation, he will be gradually elevated. Remember what I mentioned, what we learned yesterday on the tree, right? So the Vedic scripture is meant to allow us to enjoy regulatedly, okay? Regulated freedom, okay? Not a whimsical freedom, all right? So that we can be elevated from animal form of life, animal mentality to human mentality, and finally we achieve moksha. Okay, that means we can gradually detach ourselves. That's how it should work. Okay, so that's a benefit of following the rules and regulations. So we are done with the demonic qualities and natures, characteristics, everything. Now we will touch briefly on the Daivi Sampada, the divine qualities. So this is a pretty lengthy to read. Kartini Mataji.
Mataji, can I try to read the Sanskrit version as well?
Can.
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Abhayam Sattva Samsudir Jnana Yoga vyavastiti Danam Dhammas Cha Yajnas Cha Swadhyaya Stapa Arjavam Ahimsa Satyam Akrodas Tyaga Santir Apai Sunam Daya Butsev Alo Luptavam Mardavam Prir Achapalam Teja Kashma Dirti Saucham Adoro Nati Manita Bhavanti Sampadam Daivim Abhijatasya Bharada.
Very nice, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of the sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault-finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and the freedom from envy and from the passion for honor. All these transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So let's put that in a list because it looks like a lot, right? So there are total how many? I thought it's 26. Oh, yeah. Okay, yes. All right, so there should be 26 here. So we can actually go through one by one, but I will try to touch the reason why I added some sloka. This is actually inside there. In the beginning, I added some slokas because we know we're not going to do level 2. So that's why I wanted to put it. So that's why my class will be slightly extended. Okay. All right, so let's see. Fearlessness. Fearlessness is very prominent in a person who has taken up sannyasi, because when a person takes sannyasi, they need to travel everywhere. They cannot stay in a place for a long time. And then they should not be very anxious about, oh, what I'm going to eat, where I'm going to stay, where I'm going to sleep. So they should not have all these anxieties. So fearlessness is very prominent for sannyasis. Okay, what else? Charity. Charity is actually meant for people who are householders, all right, married people with family. So because you should not have, the idea is not to have so much attachment to the money that we are earning. So we need to give it back to people, to the society. So we must do charity. Okay, study of the Vedas usually is very suitable for people who are brahmacharis, okay, because that's what they do, they study. All right, and then what else? So many of these qualities is actually applied for everyone, but certain qualities is very prominent in certain people. Like, okay, for example, where's that? Forgiveness. Yes, forgiveness is actually very relevant to Kshatriyas, because in the battlefield, if somebody surrenders, okay, or seek forgiveness, then they have to forgive them. Okay, they cannot launch attack on them. So like that. Cleanliness, it should be for everybody, right? Okay, so you can read this explanation in the Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada's purport. Okay, so you just read that, right? Okay, so then finally Krishna will say, the same sloka is repeating here, where Krishna says, Arjuna, don't worry, you are of divine qualities. Kartini Mataji.
Devi Sampat Vimokshaya Nibandaya Surimata Masucha Sampadam Devim Abhijato Sri Pandava. The transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demonic qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu. You are born with the divine qualities.
Okay, so we already covered this earlier. So Krishna saying, don't worry, Arjuna, even if you are killing, you are seemingly involved, seemingly like you're engaged in killing, but actually you are divine. So don't worry about that. Okay, so we're going to spend time to recap, because generally what we covered are just facts and points. Okay, so it shouldn't be very difficult to recall, right? So the first thing, we covered some characteristics, demoniac nature. Do you like to just throw out those points? What are the qualities of demoniac natured people?
Don't know what to do.
arrogance,
Yes,
pride,
arrogance,
pride, anger,
pride,
Ignorance.
anger.
anger, conceit, harshness.
Yes.
Ignorance.
Okay, very good. So that's on verse 4. So the next, what about their discrimination?
Do not know what to do.
Yes, do not know
What
what to do, what
to do.
not to do. Very good. How about other qualities like cleanliness?
cleanliness, no
Cleanliness, nor
behavior,
proper behavior, not
Yes.
truth is found in them.
Very good. Okay. And then what about the idea about how the world is created and all?
The world is unreal. There is no foundation and no God in control.
Very good, very good. Okay. And then what happens to them by not having all these good qualities, right? By having this bad quality, what do they do? What kind of engagement they are engaged in?
unbeneficial,
Bondage.
Unbeneficial. Some more?
Evil thoughts.
Horrible works meant to destroy the world.
Yes, very good. So you see, very good. So you're sharing the right information here. And then this is talking about their nature, their characters. So now what kind of activities they are engaged in? What activities we covered just now? Sam Prabhu read that verse.
Lust, anger, greed.
Before that.
gaining wealth,
I'm an
Yes,
enjoyer, I'm perfect.
very good. The thoughts about gaining wealth. Okay. So after that, Krishna explains how does he treat these people? What does Krishna do to them?
put them in the ocean of material existence,
Yeah, perpetually. So that's one. Point number 2.
Attaining repeated birth among species of demonic lives.
Very nice. After that, finally, what happens?
Gradually sink down to the most abominable type of existence.
Yes. So this is what happens to them. Okay. And then now we are going into how to give up the demonic tendencies. So what tendencies we covered just now? The main ones.
the 3 gates to hell,
Correct. 3 gates to hell. What are those?
anger, greed, and greed, and lust.
Last satisfied. What do you get?
And greed,
Greed. Last not satisfied.
anger,
Very good. Okay, very good. So how to overcome these tendencies? What we should do?
follow the shastras,
Okay, and practice our
devotional service,
Regulated.
regulative.
no,
Chant
Follow
Hare
the
Krishna and be
shastra.
happy.
no. What is important? I'm going to work. I'm a mother.
Follow the Vedic
Follow the
scripture.
scriptures.
And do what? What we should
Understand what is the
duty.
Yes, perform our duties, the basic. Okay, practice own dharma prescribed by scriptures. Okay, and then finally, Krishna said the
Scriptures.
result of following the scriptures and not following the scriptures. So those who do not follow scriptures, what is their fate? I mean, what they don't get if they don't follow the scriptures?
Neither attains perfection nor
Uh-huh.
happiness or not the supreme destination.
Yes, very good. Param Gatim. If they follow, they will
Some
understand.
divine titles.
Be gradually elevated.
Yes, correct.
Elevated.
Very good. Okay. So if you discard, you don't get happiness, liberation, perfection. If you follow, you will understand. You'll be able to understand your duties because you're following the regulations, and it will bring you on a gradual elevation. So finally, what is the fate? What is the fate? What is their destiny of people who are demonic and divine? Demoniac, what is their destiny? What happens to them? Remember the tree, one is going up, one is going down. So if you remember what I mentioned
One
earlier,
will be in bondage.
very good. Who will be in
Demonic.
under bondage, Prabhu?
Demonic.
Very good. Okay, the opposite is?
Liberation.
Liberation.
Yes, very good. And finally, what Krishna says about Arjuna?
You are
Yes, divine
Place of
qualities.
divine qualities.
Very good. Wonderful. Okay, so that's about it. Okay, so now story time. So I think I would need, I don't know, maybe 7 minutes. Okay. So this is,
Mataji, excuse me.
yes, Mataji.
The Arjuna being born with divine qualities is something, can we relate it with this Mati Shahid, Mati Jihad and things like that? Like, you know,
Yes,
the
yes,
people,
yes. In the true sense, in the true
yeah,
sense. Huh?
I was
Yeah.
just thinking about that. Yeah.
Yeah, because Krishna will say in the beginning that those who die in the battlefield, they will go to heavenly planets. So that's why Krishna said, why you are saying no enjoyment, Arjuna? Because one of the sasti is no enjoyment. Krishna will say, if you die here, you will go to heavenly planets. But if you win, you will enjoy an earthly kingdom. So in both ways, you are getting enjoyment. You know, that's what Krishna counter Arjuna's points. Right, so in true sense, jihad. Okay, so this is the beauty of the holy names, to kill the demoniac tendency in a person. Okay, previously Krishna comes with a bow and arrow or chakra or whatever, and he kills the demons with his hands. But in Kali Yuga, we can't do that because the demoniac and the divine is in the same person. So we can only feed the good wolf with the good things. And we have to destroy the bad wolf by purifying it, by providing this holy name. Okay, the holy name can remove the demonic qualities in our heart. So this is a story about how this happens. Okay, one day, okay, this is about Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, appeared in about 500 plus years ago, and he had a very close associates, Lord Nityananda, who is Lord Balaram, and another person is Haridas Thakur. So Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur, every day their duty is to go out in the Navadip village and Navadip town, and they have to go and ask people to please chant holy name, please chant holy name. This is what they need to do. They have to go and preach. So this is a duty that Mahaprabhu gave Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur. Okay, and then it says here, humbly beg them to take the names of Krishna. You don't have to say anything else to them. Simply chant the holy names. So the instruction is you must go to everybody's house, to everybody's shop. Okay, so this is Lord Nityananda. So this is Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur is originally a Muslim. Okay, so because of the association, he has taken up the holy name and has become a pure devotee. And his actual swarup is Lord Brahma. Okay, so Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur, they accepted the order of Mahaprabhu. They also will go house to house. So they will knock. It is said that when they knock the door, when people open the door, they will think they will see there's nobody there. Why? Because both of them will be on the floor begging their feet, touching their feet and asking them, please chant the holy name, right? Like that. So they will beg like that, and they have no discrimination whether this person is qualified or not, or Brahmana or whatever. So they approach everybody. So they will be begging and crying, please chant, like that. So as they were going on like this, one day they came across two drunkards, all right, and they have been observing these drunkards have been disturbing everybody there. Okay, so they were sinful. So it is mentioned that they were so sinful that it seems that they didn't perform any. They did not leave out any single sin. So that means they have done everything. All right. So there wasn't a single sin that they had not committed. Okay, so as they were like engrossed in drinking, Lord Nityananda approached them. So why are you wasting your life? Okay, please, my dear brothers, don't waste your life in such sinful activities. Hellish suffering awaits you. Please chant the holy names of Krishna. Krishna is your only friend. He is your only shelter. He is the great treasure and wealth of your life. Worship him with undivided devotion. But in return, they were laughing, they were ridiculing him. And one time, one of them got so angry. Okay, actually, this happened for 2 days, they started chasing Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur. They actually left that place because they were going to harm them. So the next day, Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur went, because these are the kind of people that we really need to change them because they have demonic qualities in them. So they went again. So again, they were talking to them, please chant, and they were begging and everything. So one of them got angry. He picked up the pot where they used to store the liquor, and he actually threw it on Lord Nityananda's head, pang, kana, and started bleeding. Okay, and people around there saw this, and they ran and reported that matter to Mahaprabhu. Okay, people had reported the incident to Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu got so angry, he charged to that place, because Mahaprabhu or Krishna, they don't mind people offending them, okay, harming them. Okay, but the moment somebody harms or offend the devotees, Krishna or Mahaprabhu will not be able to take it. Okay, this is what happened in Ambarish Maharaj's story, remember? Okay, until Maharaja Ambarish has to forgive Durvasa Muni, the chakra will not stop chasing Durvasa Muni. So Mahaprabhu was so angry, he became so enraged that his eyes burned red as hot coals. And with raging fire, he ran to the scene of the crime and lifted his finger and called out, "Chakra, Chakra." And Sudarshan Chakra ominously began to whirl about his finger and to over these two sinful brothers, ready to kill these two brothers because they hurt the most dear devotee of Mahaprabhu, not Nityananda. And then when they, Jaga and Madai, this is Jaga and Madai, these are the two names. Okay, when they saw how Mahaprabhu was so angry, they got so scared and they fall on his feet and begged for forgiveness. And they immediately repented. Okay. When Jaga and Madai saw the wrath of Gauranga more deadly than the wrath of Nrsingadev personified, and Sudarshan Chakra brilliant like millions of suns ready to sever their heads, they became very sober and fearful. Okay, as Mahaprabhu wanted to launch that chakra towards them, Lord Nityananda fell on his feet and said, "Oh Lord, this time you did not come to kill the demons. You cannot possibly kill all the demons in Kali Yuga because the demon and divine qualities living in the same person. So you cannot kill, if not you have to kill everybody. So you came here to kill the demonic qualities. Okay, not the demons, not the people." Okay, so long story short, after some lengthy conversation, Mahaprabhu got pacified and he actually forgave this to Jaga and Madai. So realizing the this Jaga and Madai, realizing what kind of offenses they have done, they repented. And because this place is near River Ganges, okay, and people come there to perform pilgrimage, so they took up a service where they will arrange the footwears of the pilgrims. So that's how they were doing repentance. Okay, so how to kill this demonic quality is by taking the holy name. So that will cleanse the demonic qualities. Okay, so we cannot go on killing people because they are bad. Okay, we can only purify them. Okay, so that is the story. That's about it. Any questions, or we